Well, hello again. My name is Andy Paniak. I am the president of Money Concepts Sunbury here in Sunbury, Ohio, part of the Tailwind network of Money Concepts advisors here in the Ohio region. And so today we're talking about the Secure Act 2.0, which is potentially coming out soon. I wanted to talk about it today because as it relates to required minimum distributions, also known as RMDs. RMDs is an IRS mandated amount of money that you must withdraw from your IRA each year, starting at age 72. With Secure Act, the original Secure Act that was passed in the year 2020, that did change the IRA RMD age from 70 and a half essentially to age 72. The government wants you to draw down your account. And so today I have Ben Paul here with us talking on how to preserve your IRA balance. Ben is the president of Liberty One Investment Management, one of our premier money managers that we use here in our office. And without any further ado, Ben, would you take it away?
Thank you so much, Andy, for the introduction. Appreciate the opportunity to talk about the ultimate RMD solution in some detail here. So required minimum distributions, RMDs, as they're referred to, you're exactly right. The Secure Act, call it version 1.0, pushed the RMD age out to age 72. Used to be 70 and a half, now it's 72. The Secure Act 2.0 is likely going to push it out another year or two before RMDs have to start. The reason they're doing that, keep retirees secure, help them preserve their IRA balance longer throughout their lives. Now, how RMDs work and how do they exist? Let me give you a really big picture overview for your viewers here. So think about your 401k, 403b, 457, traditional IRA. Chances are, unless it's a Roth of some sort, unless it's a Roth IRA, it's going to be pre-tax. So your traditional 401ks, 457s, 403bs, that's pre-tax money. Your money went into that account before Uncle Sam got their hands on it. And as that account is growing, it's also growing tax deferred. So it went in before taxes and it grew without taxes. So really that money's never been taxed. So at age 72, Uncle Sam says, hey, enough is enough. We got to start forcing you to withdraw some money from your IRA simply so we can tax you on it. And that's the only reason the required minimum distribution exists, is so they can start collecting some tax after decades of tax deferral. So it's not really, it's not bad Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam had a great benefit that you leveraged for decades, but now it is time to start withdrawing simply so they can tax you on it. And yes, it is taxed as ordinary income. But here's the thing about RMDs that surprises most people. Let me share my screen. Okay. As you age, the amount of the RMD in terms of the percentage of your account value gets larger. So the older you get, the larger percentage has to be withdrawn. And rather than stare at this simple graph here, I want to go down to a chart because it brings it to life in an even clearer manner. Now, we do have the old numbers on here just for frame of reference, but just know as we watch this video, age 72 is the current Secure Act 1.0 starting age. 2.0 hasn't been official yet, okay? But the concept remains the same. So the way RMDs work is, of course, at a certain age, whatever the age that you are, the IRS gives you a life expectancy. And if you want to know your RMD, you simply take your account value, divide it by your life expectancy. So in this case, $100,000 divided by 25.6 years is 3,900, round numbers. 3,900 off of $100,000 value is 3.9% of your account value. So for every $100,000, you have to withdraw 3,900. You have to withdraw 3.9% of your account. Now, as you age, your life expectancy gets shorter. You divide by a smaller number, it's a bigger percentage. And there's kind of the whole rub with the whole RMD dilemma is as you get older, I mean, you want to protect and preserve your IRA for yourself and your loved ones. But as you age, you have to earn a higher and higher percentage every year just to break even on what Uncle Sam is going to force you to withdraw. So we have a saying, Mr. and Mrs. Client, it's your goal to protect and preserve your IRA. It's the IRS's goal to tax and deplete your IRA so they can tax you on it while you're alive. So in order to protect and preserve, you have to offset that withdrawal. But to offset that withdrawal, you have to earn more and more every year. And as you age, you want to get more conservative, but you can't get more conservative and earn more to offset the ever increasing withdrawal. So it becomes this whole dilemma of you want to protect the IRA, but you also don't want to get more aggressive, but you need to, but you don't want to. But Uncle Sam's taking more and more every year, and you're paying more tax every year. So the ultimate RMD solution is all about leveraging the power of dividends to offset a large portion of the required minimum distribution. What's nice about dividends is when you take a dividend off the top, as companies share their profits with you, you're not reinvesting dividends, you're taking those dividends as income. Those dividend distributions count towards the RMD. Best of all, they count towards it without having to sell a single share. Now, does the dividend fully cover the RMD? No, and that's okay, because the key phrase there that I used, the key word was offset. The dividend offsets the RMD quite substantially. Over time, when you invest in the right companies, when you manage with precision, that dividend rises over time. Focusing on companies that increase their dividend like clockwork, and you're going to use an ever increasing dividend stream to offset that ever increasing RMD requirement. Now, again, the key word there is offset. If half of your RMD is covered by the dividend, and over time you've got underlying appreciation with your holdings as well, you're going to be in great shape long term to protect and preserve that IRA while Uncle Sam is trying to tax and deplete it. So there's a few moving parts to this, Andy, as you can appreciate. This really just shows the problem. And I know there's other videos that we've put together relating to the double compounding effect, for example, that would really help drive some of this actual problem solving home for your viewers. It's a really powerful concept.
Yeah, Ben, and I was just thinking the same thing, that would play very well with the double compounding video that we have. But yeah, these required minimum distributions are, like you said, it is a way for the government to start collecting their taxes that they've allowed us not to have to pay for, like you said, a couple of decades. So the Secure Act 2.0 be exciting to see what they come up with on that as we sit here May of 2022, with them not having a completed package yet. But the Secure 1.0 rather, Secure Act 1.0, I think, in my personal opinion, I think them moving that to age 72 was really kind of simplified this whole required minimum distribution RMD confusion that a lot of people, in my experience, have faced over the years.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's odd. The IRS loves their half years, right? 59 and a half for retirement, 70 and a half for RMDs. like you say, I'm glad they just made it 72. You just call it a day and you know where you're at. No funny math you need to do to figure out exactly when you need to start taking this thing. So yeah, I'm excited for Secure Act 2.0 as well. It should increase the catch-up contributions that folks over 50 can contribute to their 401k and their IRAs. It should increase the maximum contributions in the IRAs and 401ks. It should extend the age at which RMDs begin, kick it maybe as late as 74, but we'll see what actually gets passed. I'm sure something will get passed. I'll be curious to see what it is and decipher it from there. So I'm looking forward to it as well.
Yeah. So Ben, thank you again so much for explaining required minimum distributions, RMDs, how it applies to the Secure Act and the Secure Act 2.0. Again, Ben Paul from Liberty One Investment Management. He's the president of Liberty One Investment Management, one of our premier choices when it comes to managing your hard-earned dollars. And my name is Andy Paniak with Money Concepts at Sunbury. I'm the president here, and we're part of the Tailwind Network. So check out our other videos, and there'll be more to come.
Very good, Andy. Thank you for having me.